Welcome to podcast episode number 5. My name's Steven. In this video, we're going to be talking to Eduardo, who's one of the co-owners at Greenway Tree Removal here in Murfreesboro. Very excited to talk with him. We're going to be talking about sales, mindset, and much more, so stay tuned for the episode. So welcome to podcast episode number 5. This is Eduardo. He lives here in Murfreesboro. I actually just met him a couple months ago. It was like kind of weird how I ran into him, but um we started talking a little bit, and he actually runs a tree service company here in Nashville. Um, Eduardo, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, man. How you got started?
Well, obviously gonna go ahead and start with my name. My name is Eduardo Cifuentes. I was born and raised in Texas, and I've moved out here in Nashville the past 2 years. I've been enjoying it. I've been obviously he was talking about how I run a tree service company. It's not my company, not my company. I just oversee the operations, make sure the jobs are getting completed, customers are happy, then the crew's running in the most efficient way. So I kind of just oversee everything, make sure everything goes as planned. I've been doing it for 2 years now, enjoying it every single bit of it. Um, I mean, there's not really much more to it. I'm 22 years old, and well, I like to do what I like to do because it's the bills paid, man. And get the bills paid. I get to deal with a lot of different people, customer service, making sure sales is my I love sales. That's the main reason why I'm here, if I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm. So what got you started, man? I know we talked about it last time, but just for everyone else, like what got you into the game?
Um, what ended up getting me into so I guess I'll go ahead and start with this. Um, I first got introduced to sales through a network marketing company. Um, Beautiful educational platform. You're gonna be hearing my GPS sometime. But I got introduced to sales through a network marketing company. I got introduced to a lot of different people who were able to help me understand the idea of sales, the big idea behind sales and how it has a stigma to it. People think this, people think that, yada yada yada. And it's just for the most part, man, sales is beautiful. It's the oldest profession and it's the highest paying profession in the world. Um, you know about all the big CEOs, all the big different corporations, they all need a sales team to be able to come in and collaborate with different companies, be able to sell their own products and do this and that. So sales is definitely a big thing in our world and how we live. But I mainly got introduced to this tree service company through my girlfriend actually. Her father-in-law is the guy who owns the business, and he saw that I was doing sales for that network marketing company. I would be at his house sometimes. I'd be running my own calls, just sitting in the corner doing my own little thing, and he kind of took a liking to me. I guess it's kind of rare for some guys, but he just invited me over. He wanted to see what I could do, see if I liked it, and well, man, I've been running with it ever since. I was only supposed to be here for a month. I was only gonna give it a month, and then the first storm hit whenever I was out here for that month. I made money that I've never seen before in the matter of a week. So it was just, I got to see what this opportunity holds. So instead of just slacking on it and not really doing it much or, not taking it seriously, I'm just going all in with it. I'm enjoying it and I'm making sure I'm trying to get the most out of it.
So you mentioned sales and how that was kind of like your alley, your segue into this. So for someone, because I know sales is a weird profession to get into, especially for someone just starting out who doesn't really know what they're doing, and it's
Very.
very difficult. So what would you say to someone who is trying to get into sales or struggles with sales? Like, what is a tip that you would give that person?
All right. So can I give like a beginner, then like a middle ground, and then like a higher up
Yeah,
tip?
I wanted to
So
hear I wanted to hear some multiple things there. Yeah.
perfect. Okay. So if you're realistically, sales, it's it's a mental game, right? The way that I like to explain it is I have workers, I have guys that work in labor. This whole tree service is not it's not easy. A lot of people think it's easy because I make it look easy. My guys make it look easy, which is we've been doing this for so long and we're all very, very experienced. We know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about when it comes to doing these jobs. The first thing as a beginner, when you come into sales in general, is to continuously ask questions to those who have exactly what you want. So say you're a beginner, you started out, it's your first month, and there's someone around you, for example, like if you're in car sales, if there's someone around you that is selling 12 cars a month or 12 cars a week, however many cars you want to sell that week, however many cars you want to sell that month, go bug them, go ask them for questions. If they're gonna be a negative Nancy, not to say any. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss or anything. Uh,
Yeah.
um, you have to go. You just find somebody else. That's perfectly fine. Some people just don't want to be bothered, but I don't think they would hound you for trying to ask them a question on sales or how to be better if they've been in that position before. Not everybody comes out of the womb just being a fire sale. I didn't come out of the womb being a fire salesman. Whenever I first got introduced to this, I used to sell packages uh for the network marketing company for 325, 350. And that was a lot of money to me back then. Now I continuously go into 4 to 5 figure digits, and that's just where you kind of start organizing everything a little bit differently. You start seeing money differently. It's not as scarce as as you once thought it was. Like literally, look, it's crazy. We're talking about all this, and there's a Lamborghini just passing by, just chilling. You get what I'm saying? So it's just money is an illusion that it's all in your brain, realistically. So obviously, when you first get into something different and into something new, it's not gonna be it's not going to be a walk in the park. I don't expect you for it to be a walk in the park. If you get hired anywhere else, you're not going to know what to do. They're going to show you what to do. In sales, it's not that somebody shows you how to sell. It's how badly do you want to learn how to close those deals to be able to profit yourself. So, rules for beginners: continuously ask questions, be a student, and just keep on grinding. It's going to be hard. Nobody said it was going to be easy. For anybody that said sales is easy, they've never been in sales. They haven't been in sales hard enough. Um, or hey, somebody catches a lucky break and that's perfectly fine. Luck is when time and practice comes perfectly into sync and it just happens. And that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own time of doing things. And I guess something that I would give for a medium, I guess an amateur. You want to say amateur? I don't know. For an amateur, you've been doing this for a couple months. Just you're getting the foundation. Lay your foundation down first. Make sure you lay your foundation down. Know how to talk to people. Be outgoing. Learn body language. Learn emotional intelligence. Learn how people think. Learn how people like to be treated. Because at the end of the day, we do door to door sales, and that's probably the hardest way. It's more hard than cold calling, in my own opinion. It's only because you're there face to face with the person. I'm knocking on their door and I'm asking them for 5 to 10 grand. Not I don't think anybody's gonna be super on the spot like, hey, yeah, let me give you. You have to. There's a lot of going out there, presenting yourself, presenting not only yourself but your product, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people like to focus on the product, 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 product. If you're able to promote yourself better than your product, I guarantee you 100% those customers will buy you as an individual rather than buy the initial product. I've had customers talk to my boss and be like, "Hey, man, I'd buy anything from this kid. I'm not whenever I'm dealing with him, I'm not dealing with just some salesman who wants to get some money out of me. Super. I'm dealing with a kid that wants to make sure my home is taken care of and make sure that it looks nice. You get what I'm saying? Because trees, I mean, everybody's got them around their home here. If you're in Tennessee, you know how big these trees are, how bad they get. But and it's just a matter of going in there, presenting yourself properly, and just being confident with what you can do. Um, a lot of the times you get comfortable,
Mm.
and I'm sure you've had to deal with comfortability as well, where sometimes you're like, well, I just man, I did pretty good this week. Let me just sit back and
Oh yeah.
kind of relax and watch everything over, right? And how did you feel in those times? You felt great. It felt great,
I'm gonna be
right?
honest with you, man. It feels good for like the first 4 hours, and then after that, you're kind of just like, oh man, bro, I gotta get back to
Exactly.
it. I gotta get back to it, man. I don't have time for
But
this.
and a lot of people, it's just a mental battle to be able to even get out of bed in the morning. It's
Yeah,
a mental battle for them to keep their area relatively clean. Right now, the only thing that's a mess in this truck right now is the center console. Make sure everything just I try to keep it as clean as I can. Sometimes it does get past me sometimes, but I'd rather have a clean space and a clear mind than a super. Man, I have ADD, bro. I have ADD. So, and I'm raw dogging life, man. I don't take any medication or anything. So I'm raw dogging life. I'm just kind of just going through the motions. I know the way that my brain works, but I know at the same time I'm able to figure things out on the fly. I mean, that's where I have a little bit of an advantage. I like to come up with things on the fly. I'm not terrible at it, but I don't always use it. Plan things out. Like, bro, I'm probably gonna be leaving for a hurricane later tonight. Going down to Louisiana, so it's gonna be pretty cool. But
where in Louisiana are you going?
probably New Orleans.
Okay.
We're still waiting for it to kind of get closer to hitting the land. But man, comfortability is comfortability, your ego, and laziness. It's gonna be procrastination as well. Is gonna be your biggest downfall if you're in sales, because commission based pay shows who really wants it and who really doesn't. At the end of the day, if everybody's getting paid the same 10%, and Jimmy over here sells $5,000 in a week, and this other guy sells $50,000 in a week, and Jimmy's over here complaining because he only made $500, but the other guy, he made 5 grand. Who worked harder?
Yeah.
Who really wanted it more? Who's really willing to go out and be like, damn, my own skills are letting me down? Not many people. Look it over yourself. Just man, don't get comfortable. If you feel like it's okay to sit back and relax, sit back and relax. I know your bank account won't be sitting back and relax. It won't. It won't. It'll be stressing. But it's just the way the game is made. All we have to do is play it properly, know what you're doing. We're not playing checkers, we're playing chess.
Amen, man. Amen to that. What I know you said something about the amateur kind of tips. What would you say as like a higher level individual, someone who's maybe been in sales for a year or two, who, maybe they don't have 10 years of reps, but they're pretty good, they have a decent close ratio. Like what would you say to someone like that?
Well, look, I'm gonna be honest. Once you get to that level, a lot of people think, all right, I can just kind of kick my feet up and just continue to do what I'm doing. Right? Man, it's those times when you really have to push the most. Because if say, for example, Bobby on the left hand side, he's at the top of his game, he's been doing great. He's in his prime basically after 2 years. right? How far does your prime really go? How far are you willing to work that hard and grow something out of it? So for example, us with here at the tree service company, our next step realistically is to go out and try to find a few more salesmen. If I can get a few more salesmen, that's when, because the system's already been duplicated. We've already duplicated the system, right? That's why I'm here overseeing this operation, right? All I have to do is duplicate that same system. For a lot of people in solar and roofing and tree service and even network marketing, and all different types of sales at different types of levels, there's always another level you can take it to. Always be ready to up the ante. Because if you don't up the ante, I don't know. There's just something about being on that same level consistently every single day, every single that man. Why don't you just take it that step up further? Why not? You know? And it goes back to just comfortability. You need to stop being comfortable.
Man, I think
What do you think?
as a new entrepreneur, as someone who just starts out, sales is always the detriment to that. And I mean, you could have a bad offer and you could have a bad um messaging and not the right leads and that kind of stuff. There's a lot also that goes into
Mm-hmm.
it. But like I don't know, I was just thinking about this. I had this kid like came to my door the other day and he was walking around the neighborhood knocking. He was a pressure washer. And just right off, it didn't take me but like 2 seconds to realize that this kid was like inexperienced. And so I uh I didn't I wasn't rude to him, but at some point
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bro, you just started, didn't you? Like I said it to him. And eventually, we started chatting a little bit and we started talking about what to do. And I I showed him some of my YouTube videos and kind of introduced him to some people that might be able to help him out. And I just remember,
Mm-hmm.
one day we were talking, he was like, so what do you think I should do? Like, how do I close more sales? And I was like, bro, if you want me to be completely honest with you, like, how many doors have you knocked? He said, oh, I've probably knocked like 500 doors. I was like, bro, you got to knock another 9,500 doors before you even.
And man, that's a crazy thing. The thing about doors and door to door, because you told me that you do a lot of cold calling, right? Or that you were doing a lot of cold calling at the time that we had last spoken. Um, and well, I did cold calling. I did cold calling. Right, that's how I started. I did cold calling. My mentor at the time told me, "Hey, bro, you're a whole different. You can be a whole different person. People will think that you're that person. You're over the phone. You get what I'm saying? Once it goes to those doors, it so obviously different neighborhoods it's a key factor. You want to go to neighborhoods that actually will be able to afford your service, and that's just, I mean, you know where to go. You got to find out where to go. That's first off. Second, it's, man, you gotta, the first impression whenever you meet somebody, the first 5 seconds, the first 5, 10, 15 seconds of any single conversation are the most crucial words you will ever say in that entire sale process ever.
Amen to that, man.
Because
I
I,
agree with that.
I guarantee you, nobody's gonna remember that. Nobody's gonna remember those first crucial moments, but those first crucial moments are if you determined to get them out of the door or not.
Yeah.
Right? Just it's not even based. It's not even because they're gonna remember those first 5 seconds. Because any single one of my customers, you go back and ask them what's the first thing I said to them, they probably won't remember, and they probably won't tell you. Right?
Yeah.
Um. So the reason that I say that those first 5 seconds are so important is because at the end of the day, sales is the transfer of energy. Right?
Amen.
People don't want to be dealing with a negative Nancy. People don't want to be dealing with somebody who's forced to be there. They feel you. They're gonna feel that energy, right? anytime you go hit a door, you got to go up there like excited.
Yeah.
I anytime I talk to a customer, I'm excited to be at your house. I'm happy that you're showing me around. I love to be able to inspect properties like this. I hate being cooped up in that truck all day knocking doors. This
Yeah.
is what I like to do. And then once they get that open, you got to present yourself nice, man. I wear blue jeans, I wear boots, I wear those. Today I'm wearing a jacket because it was a little chilly this morning. But boots, man, I can go get some cheap polos or whatever. Man, I have nice polos, man. I don't. These aren't like they're not the man. I go to Burlington, I get a bunch of this like the whatever they have there, and then I just go get them with my stitching all over them. You know what I'm saying? Like I have all of my search have the company logo. They have my name. It looks professional. People are gonna take you more seriously. Have your hair done. I need a haircut. I'm stressing because I need a haircut. But make sure you look good. Make sure you look professional. It's the way that you present yourself, not just with what you're wearing. That's important too. But the way that you speak to them. If you speak to them in a ghetto tone, you're gonna get some ghetto responses.
Man, that is the crazy that is the crazy part of starting out. I remember when I first started that getting on. So this is my story actually. What I had done was I remember I was gonna make my first cold call ever. Um and I'd sat down and I wrote a script and then I rewrote that script like 50 times, like hand wrote it.
Hmm.
And then I read it in the mirror to myself like 100 times. And I made that first call and I fumbled it. And I think like 10 calls later, this guy just like cursed me out. Like he was like, go fuck yourself. Like he was saying some foul stuff. And he was really just pushing it at me, man, just hardcore. And in
He
that
was
moment, I
he
really
was
wanted to.
not having it.
No, he wasn't, man. And I wanted to quit. I really wanted to quit. And I just decided to push through. And it took me a while to get that tonality and that spirit to where you can hop on the phone with somebody and have that upbeat attitude, where you're a bit more charming. And I think especially in my early age, I don't know about you, man, but I was big on video games and TV, and I used to be
Yeah,
inside a lot. Like I was extroverted. I'd go hang out with people all the time, but I still had this like self-confidence issue, and I think probably some of it had to do with the fact that I was a little bit of a bigger guy, and ultimately I had nothing to be proud of myself,
right.
you know? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I completely understand, man.
I struggled.
And can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm I I struggle. My biggest struggle is I grew up an extrovert. I grew up like I'm very outgoing. Man, you ever go to eat hibachi and like you have the little cook right there, you're just chatting with them. I
Yeah,
just get to chatting with them naturally. The other day I went out I went out to eat hibachi and man, I was just real chatty. And then I just asked him, I was like, hey, can I flip an egg? Can I cook with you? And he put the hat on me and I started cooking with him. It was just, little things like that for me, I hate when people tell me, oh, I'm introverted, I can't do sales. Oh, I'm extroverted. I used to be a lot more outgoing like in life when I wasn't doing sales. But now that I do sales, I waste so much of my extrovertness when I'm speaking to customers or I'm on the phone. Um, it's I move out of it. I get home, I just kind of want to chill, be to myself.
yeah,
But whenever I need it, I snap it on. I snap it on. You have to be able to learn how to be there when you need to be. Because man, I don't. There's nights where man, we don't get home till 9, 10 o'clock. But we wake up early. We wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, be at the job site by and we make sure everything, we start early. And well, that's why I love my guys. These guys, honestly, if it wasn't for these guys, the company wouldn't be what the company is. Realistic. Like the crew I have, they've been with us for a very, very long time. They've mastered their craft like crazy, right? But it all just comes back down to those little things like when you were talking about when you started out, you most cold call. When you're starting out in sales in general, when I started out knocking door, I froze. Imagine freezing in front of somebody's door, not knowing what to say, stuttering at their doorstep. There's a ring camera there. They recorded your ass. They can post you. It's fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie, right? But it's those little things that make you know what you want know what you want to be as a salesman. And I hate when people call it salesman. I hate being called a salesman. I'm like, man, anytime I finish up a job, I always talk to the customer. I'm like, hey, anything else you need, you give me a call, I'll be over here. We're family now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's hard to differentiate the sales side when you kind of have to be a little bit salesy and when you have to be a friend.
Yeah.
And while being salesy and a friend is similar, I think that sometimes you do have to
It's
push.
similar, but it's never the same.
It isn't, no, yeah, you have to push people out of their boundary, man. And I know it's hard to do that with someone you just met, especially if you don't know how to do it. And I think you kind of hit a point for
Yeah.
myself too. Like you said that you're extroverted, and then as soon as you kind of got into sales, you were like not struggling with it, but not using it in with customer support, and so like you would have to pull that out of you, pull that extroversion out of you, and that's how I was too. I was an extroverted kid for the most part. I mean, I like I said, I still had my introverted moments, but there were, as soon as I got into sales, it was like consciously I realized I had to be extroverted, and then that's what I think started to
Mm-hmm.
my confidence. Especially, when you start out, you don't know, like you don't know if you can do what you say you can do, or you don't know if you're good enough, right? Or who they've talked to, or what kind of life experiences they have, and that's difficult, man,
Mm-hmm.
for a first timer. I want to talk a little bit more about mindset.
Yeah, man. And
Go ahead.
of course. Yeah, I was actually probably gonna I was gonna segue kind of into the same thing. I was gonna say that all that, being what you were just saying, it dials down to your confidence and your self-belief. And that all just comes down to your mindset,
Yeah.
the way that you think about things. Um, for example, for the way that I understand it, so I broke a promise to my mother when I was very young. And she explained it to me like this. She was like, you can break a promise with me and I'll forgive you. I'm your mom. But when you break a promise to yourself, it hurts you the most, right? So, for example, a lot of people have these so-called New Year's resolutions. They're like, this year I'm going to work out every single day. This year I'm going to do this. This year I'm going to do that. But again, they sure go to the gym for about a week, 2 weeks, yada yada yada, and they just kind of stop going. You broke promise yourself.
If you're enjoying the show so far, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be making more of these. And if you're interested in having your own podcast and you're a business owner, click the link in the description. Let's get back to it. Just so everyone understands, kind of have some technical difficulties, but Eduardo's still here. We're going to do the rest off camera, but we're about to wrap it up anyway. The way this works is for anyone new to the show, or I guess Eduardo as well, um, we have a question from the previous podcast, and that question
Okay.
is asked to you, and then you get to make a question for the next guest. So, your question today is how can you make sure that you're taking care of your employees or someone is taking care of their employees?
That is so fun. I love that question. All right. I spoke about it a little bit earlier. I said that this company wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for my guys, my ROs. Okay. Your employees are, as a matter of fact, there's one calling me right now, but I can't answer that right now, but my boss is there, so it'll be fine. Um, Number one way to take care of your employees. So a big thing that I guess it's a stigma for tree service. A lot of tree service companies I hear from all my guys have told me is that a lot of the guys don't get paid. They don't get paid when they give them their, hey, yeah, we'll pay you this much a day or this much an hour. Don't get paid. That's a big thing. So pay your guys when they should get paid. They're gonna be delighted to work for you, right? Take care of them. For us, when some of the guys from that worked with other companies, they tell us, hey, we used to bring our own water and our own lunch. Bro, as a company, doesn't it just, I don't know, for me, it just feels wrong to charge them waters if they're working for you all day. So I make sure we have filled ice, filled with waters, Gatorades, stuff, little things like that, and some sodas, you know.
Yeah.
Make sure that they know that they're appreciated, taking care. It's the little things, If like for us, our biggest thing, man, realistically, is just making sure that our equipment as a company looks good and is well taken care of. And you got to pay these guys for that, man. We pay our guys good, we pay our guys amazing, And it's it's the little things that you can do for them that makes the big things that they do for you kind of not feel so big, if that makes sense. It'll feel like they have to do that. They're obligated to do that. All the guys, each one of my drivers, make sure is at the end of the week they come out here, they clean their trucks, and they're ready to go for the new week. They clean the equipment, they make sure the equipment is nice, greased up before they even start doing anything. So we expect a lot out of them, but a lot goes into them. You know, it's just treating them like family, man. I mean, you're not gonna like most of these guys are older than me. There's a guy in there that could be my father. He's that much older than me. But know how to respect them, know how to get along with them. But remember, you're their boss. So just make sure that they know that. But don't be a complete knob. All right. Just it's all about respect. They know what you're there for, and you know what they're there for. Don't take advantage of them. Make sure they're taken care of, man. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are producing for you. If you've got a labor based company, you guys are working away in 100-degree weather. It it's not but $5 for a 40 pack at Walmart, an extra $7 for ice, $20 for a cooler. You spend $40 to make those guys happy.
Yeah.
What does it cost you? You know, that's you got to look at it from a relationship standpoint. Put yourself in their shoes. Because you'd like it.
It's a good answer, man. I like your answer. I think that it's important to go that extra step, especially for the ones that you said that are producing. Really, they're the ones doing it.
Hmm.
So where can the audience find you, man? Where can people find you?
People can find me. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, you can find us up, search us up, Greenway Tree Service in Nashville. I do work all over Middle Tennessee. I don't care where you're calling from. Just call and I'll be there. I'll get there myself and I'll go introduce myself to you. I'll give you I'll give you some ideas on what we can do with your trees, how they looking, yada yada yada. But I really don't do too much on social media much anymore. But you can find my Instagram at Ed the Golden Boy. Yeah, I should be still at that.
What's hold on. Say that again. What's your Instagram?
It's ED and then the Golden Boy, all lowercase.
All right. I'll definitely take a look at that. Awesome,
I
man.
probably haven't posted on there for like 2 years or anything. Last time I posted on there, I was still
Yeah.
in network marketing.
Yeah. I see that.
Quite
Well,
a while. Things have changed
I
for the
appreciate
better.
you for joining the show, man. I really liked what we talked about, and I hope everything goes well, and we meet up in the future, man.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem,
Of
man.
course, yeah. I'd love to be able to come back on. Just let me know. Let me know when and where, and then we can arrange something. Hopefully, we can do it in person.
Yeah. That's kind of my ultimate goal is to get to that point. But thank you for coming, man.
Of course, brother. Thank you.
All right, that's the cut point. I'm gonna call you now because it just
Zoom
makes
is booty.
yeah, Zoom is not the way. But all right, I'm gonna give
Yes.
you a call. Give me one
All right,
second.
cool. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, and you are looking to have your own podcast, I have a link in the description where you can sign up for completely free and book a time. And if that's something you're interested in, I can't wait to see you on the show.